So hi, good morning. So I want you to start this with a very quick, nice game. Everybody's on. So this game is called Follow the Leader. So all you have to do is repeat what I say. So there'll be some words coming out on your screen, and I'll say them out, and I want you to repeat them. Simple. So let's start. Head. Oops. Shoulder. Mouth. Legs. Breasts. Penis. Vagina. What happened? Something shifted? Nothing? It did. Imagine if your parents were sitting here. Nikalta muh se? Or the other way around, if your children were sitting right next to you, how do you feel? Whatever we said, right, these are body parts. And all of us, not all of us, maybe 3.5 billion people in the world have my body parts. Not mine, but similar. And the other 3.5 billion people have the other gender body parts. But it's so difficult, right? It's so difficult to say those words out. It's so easy to say a mouth, and it's so difficult to call a vagina a vagina. It's difficult, right? And in India, it's far more difficult. It's like these talks are not to be done in public. These talks are not to be done in the drawing room. You can't talk about it. It's a no, right? But is it a no? I think with our friends, if we get around, even if we are 10-year-olds, to maybe a 55-year-old group, you can see them giggling on the side, seeing those WhatsApp messages, those videos, exchanging those photographs, those jokes. Us time pe chalta hai, but with any other places, it doesn't really work. It's like a real no. You know, when I was a small child, and I think each one of us, you would have gone through it, I had these questions. How did my sister get into my mom's tummy? When and why did God decide to give me a younger sister? What if He decides to do it again? Now, parents are 75. Why do adult girls need a diaper? And I don't. And the best of it all is, whenever I have these questions from my parents and adults around, why do they never seem to listen? उनको सुनाई नहीं देता जब मैं questions पूछ रहा होता हूँ. They look the other way and slyly maybe get out of the room. But you know, these questions never stopped. And I'm sure each one of you have had these questions. And I think first time we asked our own parents. We never got those answers from the adults of our life. So where did we go? We went to those people who actually gave us the answers. We went to our friends. And they not even gave us the answers to it. The visual explanations came along. And they said, "Arey, tu ye bhi nahi janta." And by the way, that was 1980s. We are in the 21st century. In the 21st century, I have the internet. So when I have these questions, where do I go? To the internet. And internet gives you the visual explanations, the audio explanations, the photographs. And the best part of it is that whenever I go onto the net, where I'm researching or maybe checking my emails or going anywhere in the world, there's a pop-up urging me to go there. Those porn sites hook you on, right? They're addictive, and they want you to go there. It's difficult to just. And by the way, when our children in this 21st century went to their friends, it was difficult for them to ask their friends first, because ऐसा लग रहा था कि they'll scoff at you. They will say, "Oh, he's a kid." They don't even explain this. They explain it to you. They give you the visual explanation. They tell you the right sites where to go. But they also want you to practice it. They actually urge you to do it. Whether you are 12, 13 or 14, doesn't matter. And by the way, if you really look at it, if I don't want to do it, and if I have my reservations, I'll be told, you belong to the last generation. You don't belong to this generation. You are an oldie, your thoughts are old, and you're a loser. So it gets very difficult to children not to do it and be avoiding it. And well, I'm sure each one of you has had their own experience of this. Going to your friends, having this whole convoluted knowledge about sex, having that whole disempowering context. And when I became a father, I had the same fears. I had the same fears for my children. I didn't want them to go through the same process, the same difficult process, have the same disempowering context about sex and sexuality, not knowing what to do, not knowing how to do, not knowing where to go. And one more big thing was child sexual abuse. I was worried about child sexual abuse. Will get sexually abused. Having gone through myself, having been at the receiving end myself, having met a lot of people who've gone through it, and if I tell you, the statistics say about 53% people go through it. My personal experience for the last 10 years working with these people, I think about 85 to 90% of people go through it. And sex abuse is not about only penetrative sex, it's about a bad touch also. It's rampant. So very early on when I became a father, I took on myself that I would do it. The question I asked myself at that point of time was, who do I want my child to go to? Who do I want my child to go to if he or she has a question? If he or she has a query about it? The answer was simple. It was simple but very difficult. The answer was me. I wanted them to come to me because I wanted to talk to them powerfully. I wanted them to have a great relationship with this whole world of sex and sexuality. So I took it on. I took on really early, maine karna hai. So Aman was 9. And I thought about it that I have to speak to my children before they turn adolescents. Before anybody else talks to them about it, before they want to wander around, I wanted to speak to them. So he was about 9 and I was preparing myself. I even bought a book, a very visual book, which I thought I will guide them through it. Through all the processes about sex and sexuality, how does it happen, what happens. That book and kept it in my cupboard, in my wardrobe. And kept it like this, not even like this. So every morning when I used to open that wardrobe to take out my clothes, that book used to speak to me. Sushant, you said it, but you don't have the guts. And that happened for 6 months every day. And I kept telling myself, karna hai, karna hai, karna hai, but just didn't have the guts to speak to him. It was June, he was turning 10, and we were planned a holiday out. And I thought holidays are the best time. We'll be relaxed, bahut aaram se, I'll sit with him and talk to him about it. So there was the holiday. I packed that book also in my baggage. And then the entire holiday passed. The week passed by, and I couldn't find the opportune time to speak to him. We were on the way back, on the flight. Monica and my daughter Vanya were sleeping. Aman was sitting right next to me. And I gathered all the courage. I was sweating and I was freezing, right? Both at the same time. I took a book from the handbag and put it on the tray table. And I said, Aman, I want to talk to you. It was like, ab to kar diya. Now there's no way out. You've told him, book is lying here. You said, I want to talk. And by the way, it just took 10 minutes. It took 10 minutes to walk him through with the pictures that this is how your body is, this is how the opposite gender body is, this is what the body parts are, this is what the functions are, this is how sex happens, this is how babies are made. Over in 10 minutes. And after 10 minutes, he looked at me and said, okay, fine, thank you for telling me. Can I go back to my book? And he went back to his own book he was reading. 10 minutes and over. With Vanya, it was easier, okay? At about 3, we spoke about what child sexual abuse is, what are private parts, and how does she protect herself. For months, every month, we used to practice shouting out a no. A loud, vehement no. And we practiced it till the time she became natural at it. She could actually say it out without a hitch. We talked about everything. We talked about body parts, we talked about menstruation cycle, when is it going to start, how is she going to start, how is she going to bear a baby, how are babies made, what is sex, the works of it. And I'll tell you, it's been beautiful. These children, wherever they have a query, where they have a question, they don't know, they really know where do they want to go. It's me and Monica, and they talk about it without a hitch. They can even joke around with us. Few weeks back, okay, Vanya is turning 12, and she came back to me, she was worried, looking worried, and said, Papa, dar lag raha hai. I said, what happened? She said, you know what, the periods can start any day. What if they start in the school? Carry a sanitary napkin in my bag? Will I be able to bear it? It's painful, right? And I gave her a hug and I spoke to her. I said, it's fine to be anxious about it. It's fine to be worried about it. But you know, every female's body, not just women, but every female's body in this world is made to take it. Yes, it will be painful. Yes, it will cause a bit. But you are capable. Your body is capable of taking it. It's perfectly fine. Fine to be anxious about it. Do keep a pad in your bag. It will help you when you need it. And I gave her a hug. And the relief on her face was palpable. It was amazing. While I'm talking to you, it's like, it's those goose pimples. And I'll tell you, lots have been done on child sexual abuse. Lots have been done in this country. Videos are being made, books are being written, children are being asked to see those videos, read those books. But one of the biggest elements which is missing is nobody's talking to them. Nobody's talking to them responsibly. Each one of us was born because of that. Progeny is the way. That's natural. If that wasn't there, we wouldn't be here. But nobody's talking to them. So we took on that we will talk to them. Let's give them that space to talk. Those questions. You know, I was reading the newspapers the other day. In Tamil Nadu, a few weeks back, a girl committed suicide because she was shamed by the teacher because her period started in the school. And she committed suicide. And that's not India, okay? A few months back, I was reading about a girl in London. She died because she was using tampons and she didn't change them in time and the infection spread. And she died because of that infection. This is dangerous. Not just in India, everywhere around. We need to talk. So for the last few years, we've been talking to parents, we've been talking to teachers. We're asking them to go tell their child, "Aao baat kare." And believe me or not, a few of the parents have called us and said, "Sushant, thank you. Thanks for the work you're doing. Thank you for empowering us for this talk with our own children. Because of this talk, because we connected with them, these kids averted a sexual abuse incident." And that day I said that this is worth it. The pain I went through 6 months, the difficulty the parents goes through is worth every minute of it. And we at Parvarish have taken on. We want to take this to every child, like every child in the world, to talk to them responsibly so that they take it on. They live a great life. They live a life expressing themselves. So friends, आओ बात करें. आओ बात करें so that we give up our inhibitions. We give up our barriers so that our children are empowered. आओ बात करें so that they can life undamaged. You know the kind of damage this causes? It damages your self-esteem. It damages your self-confidence. It damages your self-expression. I said, telling myself that I'm weak. I couldn't share my incident with anybody. My parents still don't know about it. One more thing which it damages is the breach of trust. 85% of the time, the trust is being done by the person who the child knows. You know, we all lose trust. We start our all relationships, whether it is personal or professional, from distrust. We carry that load all our lives. So, आओ बात करें. आओ बात करें so that our children are safe. आओ बात करें so that this society is safe. आओ बात करें that life expressing themselves fully versus coming out with what if. What if I get abused? What if my children get abused? आओ बात करें so that this space we honor, we respect our own bodies and respect the body of the other person. So friends, आओ बात करें. आओ बात करें.